Hey guys, it's LaJashley here. And just as promised, I have great facts for you guys about hair growth. I know it's something that everybody has been asking me about, and so I'm here to help you guys out with those strands that are just stubborn and don't want to grow. So here you go. So some of us are just born with thick, full, flowing, long, shiny, illustrious hair. But for the rest of us, that's what we want too, right? And quick. Really quick. But at what cost? In the market of hair today, we see so many things that are just crowding our attention, or grabbing our attention, I should say, for ways to get that full, long, beautiful hair. And just some facts for you guys. Hair implants. That can cost you about $14,000, and that's something you got to do a whole lot. Like, it's not just like a one-time thing, and there's just so many side effects to it. You have things called scalp reductions. You have growth stimulants. There's hundreds of medications that you can take, and things that you can apply to your hair, and all of a sudden you just have this beautiful hair. But those things all have dependencies on it. All of these come with a big and high cost just for vanity. But it's something that we want, right? But a lot of these come with dependencies and side effects, and that's something that we don't want. Now, that's not what I came here to talk about, so I'll save that for the next video. But we are here to talk about hair growth, and here is the big deal. So if we're going to break down hair growth, there are only two ways we can really break it down, to be honest with you. And we have to break it down according to our internal and our external. What are we doing inside, and what are we doing outside? I can pretty much just finish up the video, because I'm sure we all know how to be healthy on the inside and how to be healthy on the outside, right? Wrong. Most of us really don't know how to treat our bodies in order to get the best results. We're bombarded with like vitamins, supplements, and stuff like that to make us look better, but the natural way is always the best way. Look at, half of our grandparents. Most of them are alive because they took care of themselves really well, especially on the internal. They were very careful about what they put inside their bodies and how they treated themselves. One of my favorite places to go is West Palm Beach, and if you look at most of the people running up and down that highway, they're like really old. That's because they know that, the older you get, you're not, gonna be just sitting down on your behind and watching TV and playing golf all day. You gotta get up and you gotta move. So a part of moving, exercise is really good for your body, and whatever you do to your body, it's gonna come out on your skin and your hair, everything. And so exercise is very good. You want to make sure your blood flow is good. Blood flow, that's pretty much what allows your body to function. And so if you don't have really good blood flow, then your hair is really not going to grow. So let's focus on the internal first. Internally, we want to focus on what foods we need to eat in order to get the nutrients that our body needs in order to have great hair. Because whatever you eat is what you are, right? We always hear that cliche all the time. You are what you eat, but it's so true. You can't just eat a bunch of pigs and expect to be healthy. You can't just eat just corn or just vegetables and expect your body to react normally or function properly. We all need equilibrium, and so we need a balanced diet, right? We learned about balanced diets when we were in school. And so, if we look at that, nice triangle that they portrayed for us in what we need to eat, that's pretty much what we do need to eat in order to have the right type of substance for our bodies to work properly. So, what foods should you really be eating, right? And so I'm just gonna get into a quick list that I made up for you guys on what foods are really beneficial to your body and what nutrients they provide. So greens are very important. The greener they are, the better they are for your body. And why? Because they provide you iron for your body. Iron is very good for your hair. It's something that allows your blood to flow better, right? So we have greens. So like I said, the greener they are, the better. Kale is usually like, you know, a go-to for people. It's become more popular. Spinach is really good, and stuff like that. So now we have berries, broccoli, and oranges. Now, broccoli is definitely a green, but that specifically has vitamin C. Now, we can take vitamin C supplements, but sometimes those supplements might not have the right type of vitamin C that we need, meaning that the supplements might have other things in our bodies that might our bodies might not be able to break down so easily, I should say. So when we eat foods that have the right type of nutrients, it's a lot better for our bodies to break that down. And so berries, broccoli, oranges, great vitamin C, something you definitely should have in your diet. Salmon, walnuts, and avocados. Guess what? That's omega-3. Omega-3 is like a big thing now in our society, especially in America, I should say, because you know, you could go into GNC and they talk about omega-3s, you know, how important it is, fish oil and all that good stuff. But it really is. It's very beneficial to our bodies, and it's very beneficial to our hair. And so omega-3s have fatty acids in it, and our hair is made up of fatty acids, so we want to replenish that with fatty acids as well. We have carrots, pumpkin, and sweet potato, and that provides us with vitamin A. Vitamin A is very essential as well. We have beef, eggs, oysters. Those give us zinc and psyllium. Then we have nuts, like, you know, peanuts, walnuts. You know, I just can't think of all the types of nuts. We have so many different types of nuts, but that provides us with vitamin E. And then we have whole grains, beans, potatoes, egg yolk, fruits, and other vegetables. Those provide us with the biotin, our B complex. That's very, you know, very important for hair. Then we have our dairy products, chicken and turkey, which provide us with protein. Protein is also something that our hair is made up of, and so we want to replenish our hair, like I said before, with what we eat so that our hair can grow successfully. Another thing that we need is water. Drink lots of it. Now, I know a lot of people, you know, I've seen like a lot of things on social media where, you know, people have like gallons of water, and it's like, you know, they mark off how much they need to drink throughout the day, and that's great. You know, a gallon of water a day is great, but you don't necessarily need a gallon of water. What you do need to be mindful of, though, is this cute little mathematical problem they came up with in order to make sure that you're having the right amount of water for your body. And so they break it down by 1/2 your weight in ounces. That's how much you should have in water. And so since your body is made up most of water, then that's what you need. Water is very hydrating. Clearly, when you wash your hair and stuff, it seems like it's at its best when you just wash your hair rather than when you know, it's dry, right? So when you have the right amount of water inside, it'll show in your pores, in your skin, and of course your hair. So the next thing you guys need to be mindful of are labels. Labels. I mean, before you eat anything that's something that you really, or put anything on your skin or your body, your hair, that's something that you really should pay attention to, and they're there for a reason. You know, a lot of people have allergies to things, and, you know, that's very important. You know, they want to know, you know, people have like peanut allergies and stuff like that. So, you know, if they go to a restaurant and they cook with it, they've got to, you know beforehand, because, you know, otherwise they have allergic reaction and they could probably sue the place. But, you know, labels are very important. So when it comes to your hair, you want to make sure you're reading the labels, because, you know, how else are you going to know what you're putting in your hair? But there's a lot of scientific stuff in there that a lot of people don't know. But before I get into that, just recalling when I was in college for my chemistry major, me and my friends, we just had to study together because it was like the way we were able to grasp stuff. And anyway, so I remember we had a new kid that had come in, and he actually was in the world of nutrition. He was like a certified nutritionist. And I remember while we were studying one day, he took up a bottle and he broke down the label of it something that we couldn't do. Yeah, we were chemistry majors, but our teacher didn't teach us substantial stuff like that, you know. It was just book knowledge. But he was able to break it down, and we were like, whoa, that's really cool. And he said, yeah, you know, that's what I do, you know, because nutrition is very important. If you don't really know what you're eating or drinking, then it's like, how do you know, what it's doing to your body, or what it could do to your body? And so that really stuck with me. And it made me really like think about like, wow, what am I putting what am I putting into my body? What am I eating? What am I consuming? What am I drinking? Like, what is this? Why is it so important that we have labels? And then why is it so important that we analyze those labels? So that brought me to fundamentally our next point: external health. What are we putting into our bodies? What are we putting on our skin, right? And that's why I created LaJaShley. I wanted to make sure that what I'm putting in my body and what people should be putting in their bodies is the right type of things that they need, and none of the extra stuff. Because sometimes the extra stuff, I'm not saying that it's a deliberate thing, but some of the extra stuff can be detrimental to your body, pretty much. So all of LaJaShley's products are sulfate-free, phthalate-free, sulfate derivative-free. There are no parabens, no formaldehydes, nothing that can cause harm to your body. Okay, so products, right? Products are very important. Like I said, that's why I created LaJaShley. And so the products that I'm going to talk to you about are very essential for your hair growth, right? So shampoos. I have two different types of shampoos. One is called the Lemon Meringue Clarifying Shampoo, and the other is called Moisturizing Silk Shampoo. They're both very beneficial to hair. The clarifying one is for people that, use a lot of products. They need their scalp to be cleaner because it's more dirty. So whether it's they don't really wash their hair that often, or they wear a lot of braids, weaves, wigs, or use a lot of product, that's something that would be beneficial to your hair. It's not stripping. It doesn't strip your hair. When you use things that are stripping of your hair, like that squeaky sound, you don't want that in your hair. No, that's not good. Now, if you have straighter hair, the clarifying shampoo is definitely something that you would want. So curly or straight, clarifying shampoo is something that you would definitely want to use. Moisturizing silk is more so for those that need a little bit more moisture in their hair. Curlier hair in general, no matter how small your curl pattern is, curly hair just needs more moisture. And so the moisturizing shampoo is perfect. Like I said, none of my products have anything harsh or stripping. With that, the moisturizing silk shampoo has silk powder, which is also silk protein in it, so that it provides you a nice, beautiful, glossy shine after you finish shampooing. Now, we have our conditioners. Our conditioners, I made 3 different types of conditioners, basically for 3 different types of needs. I have Papaya Surprise, which is my regular conditioner. You can pretty much just use that as a follow-up to your shampoo. You can leave it in for, a couple minutes. When you condition your hair, you don't ever just want to rinse it out, okay? So, quickly. Because if you want your hair to grow, you want to provide it with the nutrients that it needs. And so the Papaya Surprise has many different extracts and nutrients in it that will help your hair to grow. So you want to leave it in for at least 5-10 minutes. Up to 5 minutes, but nothing where it's a quick put in, wash out, because it's not really going to benefit you as much. Then we have my Green Apple Dream Protein Conditioner. Is very beneficial as well, because it has protein in it. And like I said before, protein is something that we need in our hair, because that's what it's made out of. So we want to replenish our hair with protein, but we don't want to do it too often because that can cause damage. So now it has a substantial amount of proteins in it to help you, and so because it has a substantial amount, you want to limit that to about like once a month. You don't want to do it too much. So if you are a person that likes to use a lot of heat on your hair, or you just realize that your hair is just feeling kind of weak and brittle, that's something that you definitely want to use to replenish. Like I said, it's something that you just want to use like once a month. don't overdo it, because that would cause your hair to be brittle and break. The third conditioner I have is called the Coconut Cream Hydrating Hair Mask. Now that is one of my greatest creations. It has helped my hair so much, and it has helped many people's hairs a lot. I mean, when I was in the testing stage, I was so excited to get my friends to try it, because I knew what it was going to do. I knew it would be like an instant love. And so no matter what type of hair you have, if it's color treated, straight, chemically processed, just curly, natural, whatever, if your hair needs to pick me up, if it needs a little bit more hydration, if it's dry, if it's damaged, this is something that you want to go to. Damaged hair is not healthy hair, and therefore it's not going to grow. So in order to have healthy hair, you want to make sure that it's hydrated and it's healthy and it's strong. Okay, so my conditioners help substantially with that. Now, I also have my creamy leave-in conditioner and my moisture mist leave-in conditioner. I created two different types of leave-in conditioners for two different types of hair and hairstyles. So the creamy leave-in conditioner is more so for curly hair, because, like I said, curly hair needs a little bit more moisture than straighter hair. The moisture mist leave-in conditioner is for straighter hair, but it's also for braided styles, weaves, and wigs. I have my strawberry cream hair moisturizer, which is beneficial to curly hair. Hair moisturizers are beneficial to your hair because they replenish and hydrate and allow your hair to be a lot softer and more manageable when you want to style your hair. Last but not least are my oils. We have LaJaShley's Chamomile Chai Oil Serum, which is for dry hair, and the Strengthening Hair Growth Elixir. And they're both really great. It just depends on what you need it for. So the Chamomile Chai, if your hair tends to be dry, after you use your leave-in conditioner, you want to lock in your moisture with oil. And so whether it's the Chamomile Chai or the Strengthening Hair Growth Elixir, you want to follow up your leave-in conditioner with one of those. Now, this is for curly hair, generally. Not for straight hair. Straight hair, if you're straight, you just want to add oil to the very ends of your hair. If it's dry, brittle, if it's breaking, split ends, and stuff like that. So for the Strengthening Hair Growth Elixir, I wanted to make sure I had the right ingredients in it that would provide a substantial amount of growth in hair. So when I created it, I, of course, tested it on myself. And even though my hair is, like, really curly right now, I mean, my hair has grown so much. I mean, I'll show you guys a couple pictures of what my hair was before, but my hair has grown so much with the hair growth elixir. And so that's one of the things that you guys can use, especially if you're a curly head. And then last but not least, you use the cream, which is the strawberry cream hair moisturizer. So you want to make sure you finish sealing your hair with the moisturizer, and that would allow your hair to be at a better potential. So after you finish sealing your hair, it comes to styling. And now, I know a lot of people like to use gels and edge control and stuff like that. And I remember when I was younger, there was like only one gel that like actually worked for my hair, but it was so drying to my hair that it made my hair break all the time, and my hair just did not look good. And that's because it had a lot of alcohol in it. And so I created an all-natural hair gel for that reason. My hair can be very stubborn sometimes, and so when I want to style it, I want to make sure I'm styling it with something that has the right ingredients and something that's gonna do what I want it to do, right? And so strong hold is something that I needed, and so that's why I created a gel that has strong hold. And I also created an all-natural edge control. Why? Because edges like to break. I think that's probably like the most sensitive part of your hair. And so in order to have great hair growth, you want to make sure that your edges look good too. And so if you are using a chemical based, which they're all chemical based, edge control styler, then eventually, and if you use it a lot too, eventually you can say bye-bye to your edges, and you don't want to say bye-bye to your edges. And so those are the products I created to allow your hair to be at its best potential and to grow healthy, strong, beautiful and lovely. Okay, now on top of styling, you want to make sure that you're not using too much heat. I know for some curly girls, we like to have our hair straighter, so we might press it or blow dry it um, or flat iron it a whole lot, but you want to make sure you're limiting that. Last year I suffered the consequences of using too much heat in my hair, and I had to trim it a whole lot last year because heat is very detrimental to hair. And so once I realized how detrimental straightening my hair was, I completely stopped, and I decided to trim and of course use my strengthening hair growth elixir, and my hair grew really quickly, really fast. And also trimming is very important to hair growth. I know sometimes we want to hold on to hair but sometimes you gotta let it go in order to let it grow, right? So just getting a trim at least twice a year can be very beneficial to hair, so especially if you have split ends. You don't want your hair to have split ends but be long. I mean, it's eventually gonna break off and get shorter, so you want to make sure you're trimming. And last but not least, you want to make sure that what you're sleeping in also is not preventing your hair from growing. Satin scarves and satin pillowcases are your best friend. And so guys, LaJaShley is a holistic company. Like I told you before, we're all natural, chemical free. We don't use any ingredients that would cause you harm in the long term or short term for your hair or body. And so visit LaJaShley.com. That's www.LaJaShley.com for all your external needs. And remember, hair growth is an internal and external thing. Make sure that you're taking care of your body inside as well as out. Thank you guys. Bye.